Good morning, everyone. This is Dustin with East Tennessee Mentorship Association coming with your mental health tip of the week. And this one is multifaceted and it's intended primarily for like young adults, for young people, maybe like 18 to 25 or something in that range. But I just woke up and I felt like, man, this world is different than the one I grew up in, and it is not exactly easy. And what would I want to know if I was a young person in today's world that I know now? And so I came up with a quick list, and I'm going to go over that list with you, and I hope it helps. Number one, don't try to find someone that you want to be like. Just become that person. I spent so many years, oh my God, like at least 25 years, uh, looking for a quote unquote good man. And every time I found someone that I thought I could respect, there would be some skeleton in the closet. There would be some anger issue, some slamming of doors, some punching of holes in the wall, or there would be some, they'd have an affair, or they would be an alcoholic, or there was always something that kept me from saying, like, without reservation, that is a good man, and I just want to be exactly like that person. I never found it. I never found it. I love a lot of people, and I'm very blessed to have a lot of really great mentors in my life. Um, the ones that I got close enough to really know them, all of them had something that I'm like, that doesn't sit right with me. And I'm not a perfect person, I've punched holes in walls. I've thrown things. I've made a lot of mistakes. But I've done so while being honest with myself, and the decisions that I've made have been in keeping with my own system of morality. And so nobody is perfect. First of all, I'm not perfect, not by a long shot. But it is a waste of time to spend most of your life looking for someone that you want to emulate, when instead you could just become that person. Just live according to that inner system of values that means so much to you, and stop looking for it in the world. It's almost like we're looking to verify that good people exist before we become one. No, don't do that. Don't set that safety net. Just be a good person and live according to your own heart. Number two, you are not working hard enough to make it in this system. I hate to say this, it does not come from a place of judgment, but all of my younger clients, and me too, I'm like not old, I'm 30. We all have social anxiety. We all overthink everything. We all are very aware of everything that's going on in the world. Most of my clients who are below 25 have all these goals that they want to smash. They don't want to live with their parents anymore. They want a reliable car. They want a future with a family. They want to be a good partner, but they're not doing the work. I have most of them, most people below 25 that I see work between 20 and 30 hours a week and go to college. If you want to accomplish anything that looks like, the American dream, or even just literally to move out on your own right now, the baseline has to be 40 hours of work a week. I don't care what you're working on. 40 hours of work a week in this economy will probably get you moved out on your own, and it would be best if you had a roommate, because this economy sucks. This is the America that you have inherited, that we have inherited. And so it's our job to try to make it better in whatever way we can. But also, we simply have to bust it. My wife is an ER nurse. I own a small business. We both work a lot. And to the extent that sometimes, we can even neglect the home. Like, there's all kind of projects I have to do at home. But that is simply what it takes to make it. And I resent that a lot of adults aren't comfortable being truthful about that. Like, if you are in your 20s and you do not have what you wish to have, it is because you are not working hard enough. And that is said from a place of love. At the most I've ever worked in my life, I was working 84 hours a week and taking 4 college classes. That is hard work. And I'm not saying that everyone needs to work that hard. If you can find a job, or if you're happy, okay, cool, take your foot off the gas. I never intend to be a millionaire, ever. That about the time that I start making what would replace my government salary as a small business owner, that's when I step back and take more time for my family. I don't have any ambition to be a rich human. But in order to make it in this economy, which I believe is going to get worse before it gets better, you have to be prepared to work hard. Number 3, take risks. I'm 30 years old. I'm still doing that. I got out of the military in 2017. I worked for government for a little bit. Then I moved into another government position, DOE PERSEC. I got out and worked in the insurance business so I could study how small businesses run. And I thought that maybe I could use that path to pay for my education. It quickly became clear that I needed to be all in on that and nothing else if that was going to be the case. So I jumped into mental health, where my heart has always been. I'm still a writer. I'm still using social media. Take risks. If you have an idea about something you might want to do with your life, take a shot at it, because you're in your 20s, and oh man, everything is so much easier when you don't have a mortgage and when you don't have child support and you don't have car payments and debt. Like, if you're going to take risks, take them early when you still have something to fall back on. Risk isn't scary, and even as a 30-year-old, with a wife and children and a mortgage and a lot of responsibilities. Risk isn't that scary. It doesn't always have to depend on the math. I'm not telling you not to prepare for things, but life based on the math isn't fun. It's not fun. Why would you want to do that? Number 4, don't set limits based on the precedent of other humans. I see all the time people hold themselves back, whether it's academically or work-wise or in their fitness or in their personal study. People hold themselves back because of the precedent set by other humans. Like, we basically know what it means to, quote-unquote, work hard according to the world. People all the time tell me I have too many irons in the fire, I'm doing too much, etc., etc. That's fine. I appreciate the fact that they can follow, their own discernment. For me, I want to change the world. I mean, that's the truth. I don't need to change the world, but I want to do what I can to affect positive change according to life experiences and education that I have. I want to have an impact. And when you feel called to do something that is, beyond you, that doesn't mean it's impossible. It means you need to learn to receive help and learn to receive coaching and mentorship. But don't use the precedent set by your parents or grandparents or the people in your community, or certainly not the politicians in your community. Don't look at any of that. Just do what you want to do. You know your own capacity. So, maybe I'm shooting to achieve 100% of my potential and I only hit 80%. Cool. As long as I gave whatever effort I had, that's cool. I'm not saying that anyone needs to strive to be better than they are. I'm just saying, be as good as you are, and don't let other humans make you have some kind of weird, superiority, inferiority complex. Just be what you are. 5, enoughness. I held a lot of resentment for a long time because I felt like everyone that I ever trusted failed me. And all that means is that I failed myself. You have to give other people room to be figuring stuff out. Nobody's got it figured out. I don't care if they're 30 or 70. I literally have clients from 11 to in their 70s. None of us have it figured out. And so you have to have good boundaries, which is the next one, but you also have to give people room to fail you without it wounding you. And that just means having a good emotional defense and being a realist about the nature of the world. No one's perfect. And so you have to give people room not to be. And whatever positivity they can contribute to your life, receive that and let it be enough. It's never enough, particularly the people that I talk to, people who are trauma survivors or people who are grieving, or people who are working through stuff and trying to climb to be better. You will never feel like, okay, this is enough to compensate for what I've experienced in my life. You'll never feel that way. But it is enough, and if you study it, you learn to appreciate that it's enough. So learn that lesson sooner than I did. 6, boundaries. I like to summarize boundaries, or at least this morning I like to summarize boundaries with two statements. 1, move away from what hurts you. It's like I said, everyone will fail you at some point in your own eyes. That's because they're people and they're trying, and sometimes your eyes are just wrong and you expect too much from people. But if someone is consistently hurting you or something is consistently hurting you, move away from it. That's part one of good boundaries. Part two is maintaining a standard of conduct. And we kind of already went through that. Like, live your life in a way that allows you to rest at the end of the day without guilt or inner conflict. Maintain a standard of conduct. And lastly, learn to recognize truth. In my opinion, this is entirely my opinion, but first of all, truth is God. Truth is never a sin. And I would rather have 1,000 difficult truths than 1,000 pretty lies that make me feel better about my life. The world is sometimes hard. Sometimes it sucks to hear that working 16 hours a week or 20 hours a week or 25 hours a week, that's not enough for you to live alone and drive a brand new car. Taking a college class at a time around your part-time job, that's not gonna get you where you want to be in 5 or 10 years. You know when you're working hard. You don't need external validation when you're working hard. When you put everything you have into the world, despite what the world is giving you, and when you focus on your inner journey to become the best person that you can be, you don't need someone to tell you you're doing it right, because you know you're doing it right, because you're content with yourself and you look around and everyone else, they're just, their opinion is like irrelevant. And it's not that you don't respect them. It's just that we all have within us the plan and purpose for our life, and it's our own job to seek it out. It's not anyone's job to do that for you. And so I want to add one more. I only had 7 on here, but I will add the 8th, that supporting others is the same as supporting yourself, and the best growth is mutual growth. And so we have to strive not only to achieve our own potential with that level of intensity, but also to recognize when other people are trying to achieve something as well. And it's not that they have to be doing it perfect, because none of us are perfect. But when you see someone trying to better themselves, I consider your moral duty, if you are a quote unquote good person, to help them try in insofar as you can, to help them try to achieve their goal. Because as they grow, they want to help you. And when you build a community around you of people who are trying to be better than they are, then those people will also help you in your endeavor to try to be better than you are. So I am starting to stumble over my words. I'm out of my list, but I wanted to share some truth with young people who are clearly, everyone needs guidance in today's world. Is our country at war or soon to be at war? Is our economy going to fail? Is the medical system going to fail? Is the government going to fail? Who knows? Literally, at this point, if you are a wise and observant American, you're asking those questions. But at the same time, you recognize that the answers to those questions don't affect who you are as a person, and it doesn't affect how you should make decisions. And so now, with the knowledge that we don't know what's coming next, the best thing that we can do is work to develop ourselves into people that can overcome adversity, that can make decisions according to our own system of morality, and that can achieve our own potential without worrying about the precedent that other people have set. So this is a long one. It's for you young people. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to keep sharing the lessons that I learn as I learn them, because what I found is most lessons are learned the hard way. So please take one from me and learn these ones the easy way. Thanks so much.